Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I'm here with the 15th update of my Yuh-portfolio, and as you can see I bought BASF this month, and in total on my Yuh account there is now 3,867.67 Swiss francs. And also thank you to my 380 subscribers. It's a nice number now, but you know it, you can hit that subscribe button, it doesn't cost a thing, and you get notifications of my next video, so that's always a nice thing. And as always, my wage got paid on the 25th. So what I always do in the morning when I get up, I deposit 200 Swiss francs into my Yuh account, and a little bit later that day it got deposited, so I went from 39.85 Swiss francs to 239.85 Swiss francs. And you can see here there was 0.52 euros added to my account, and I will explain that in a bit. So the numbers that I'm presenting are from the end of the trading day of the 28th of November, so Friday, but my quadrant overview that I'm going to give after the explanation of this 0.52 euros is from the evening of the 24th. And you know, on the evening of the 24th, I always decide what I'm going to buy the next day. So this is what happened for adding the 0.52 euros to my account. AB Inbev decided when they presented their third quarter results that they were going to pay an interim dividend of 0.15 euros. So it's not a lot, but every little dividend counts. And this one as well. You also see here the withholding tax of 30% from Belgium. So my home country, Belgium, they are really greedy. Okay, not so greedy as Switzerland is, but with Switzerland it's 35% withholding tax, but then you can recoup the difference with your actual income tax. And here I will be able to recover 15% in taxes. So that will be 0.11 euros or 0.10 francs. But I need to do that later on. So I'm going to do that next year when I do my tax declaration. But yeah, 0.52 euros added to my account, and as said, every little thing counts. And then on the 24th, I went to Yahoo Finance and I started looking up all my shares. And here you can see the 5 buyable shares for my selection of 2021 stocks now, with the split of Holcim into Holcim and Emrise. So you have Volkswagen, AB Inbev, AXA, you have BASF as well here, and you see I bought that one, although the PE is higher, but you know that in my opinion the earnings per share is going to shoot up for BASF, and when that happens the PE is actually going to be lower than 18. And it's always a gamble, of course. You will see it also when I indicate my buy, that I grade it at a really high risk. And then you have Shell, and you know I bought Shell last month, just like AXA, so I wanted to diversify a little bit more. AB InBev was a possibility as well, but yeah, Volkswagen and AB InBev maybe next month. But I'm hoping that Siemens is going to drop stronger this month, or the coming month in December, so that they are closer to 18. And if they reach a value that is nice and is below 18, then I will pick them up. So they dropped a lot, so they went from 27 to 22, 23, and then they were quite in the middle. So I'm hoping for Siemens. I'm also hoping for Accor, but once again, yeah, strong performance from Accor. And you see, Emirates is gone here, so it moved to the buyable, but they actually had a price increase the last 2 weeks, and that's why their PE went up above 20. And yeah, I like it a lot. It even increased further the rest of the week. So it's positive on my portfolio right now. And then yeah, Bayer, that one moved from the not buyable list to the buyable but list because their EPS got way better. So it went from minus 3.4 or something like that to just minus 0.20 euros, which is quite good. I think maybe I'm late now in buying Bayer. I already missed an upward trend of 50% on Bayer, but I'm on the safe side of the investors. So I'm willing to miss the first 10 euros in rice from Bayer. And then when it's around 30 and it can go up to 60, 70 even Bayer, then I'm willing to let the first 10 euros slip away. I need to see a positive EPS first. So with BASF, they are already in a positive EPS there. I also dropped a little bit of gains, but I'm well I'm well aware of that, and that's no problem. Logitech moved from the other side to the not buyable because it's actually pretty high rated right now with 25.53. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm only selling when it's going to reach the 30 PE up to 36 PE value. Then I believe it's really in the zone to reaching its selling limit. And then you have Infineon, which isn't actually performing good for me, then at least, because their earnings per share went down, so their PE value even went higher. So it was trading around 34, 36, and now it's 50 and a half PE. So they are well above my PE value of 18. And I don't understand why people are putting so much money towards Infineon and paying such a high price for Infineon. It's a great company. That's why it's also in my list of 21 companies, but it's way overvalued with a PE of 50.57 right now. So yeah, it's quite astounding thing, but Eni is another another one of those stocks. Normally it should be around 13, 14, and it's there 19.16 PE. So I don't understand that as well. But it's a great company, just like all the rest here on my list, all great companies. But for me, they need to be for me in the buyable zone, and BASF was this month, so I bought it. I bought it earlier on the 24th of January in 2025, so at a price of 47.16. And you can see the most important points of that slide that I presented back in the days. I bought it at a PE of 85.74, and I then said when the PE, the earnings per share rises, it will soon drop to lower than half of that. And now I bought it at 30.85. And then as well, I complained about the fact that it moved up a lot, but I still bought it because, yeah, I'm just a small fish and it's sometimes just the way it is. But you have to make up your mind, buy the thing, and then stick to it. And only sell when something really, really, really is wrong with the firm. And then act as quick as possible. Because when you wait and wait and wait, when something is really wrong, you are going to lose a lot of money. And for me, I believe that back in the day when I bought it at 47.16 euros, or it was actually 0.155 euros, that it was a great price. Looking at the graph, I'm not presenting the graph anymore. I'm now always giving my yeah PDF overview of Yuh, which which is exactly like the overviews that you get from the Swissquote ETF account that we have. Because yeah, Swissquote owns now completely Yuh. They bought the rest of Post Finance from Yuh, and like this, yeah, I like this overview. So I bought 4 pieces at the price of 44.11 euros, and which came down to, with the cost, 177.70 euros. Converted to Swiss francs, it was 167.28 Swiss francs. So as always, they first took away the 52 cents, and then they converted the rest of those 167.28 Swiss francs into euros to buy my 4 shares of BASF, which is actually quite nice from you to do it like that, because otherwise you have to first convert more or less the amount that you need to convert from Swiss francs into euro, and you don't know exactly how much you need. So I always like to have my account after a buy into from euros to be 0 euros, so the balance on my account, so that I only have Swiss francs left. In the dividend season, that's not that easy, of course, because you get paid out a lot of dividends in euro, but I'm not complaining about that at all. Getting dividends is great. So I bought it at 44 and 11, so it's at a PE of 30.85, and in my opinion, that's just a win in my book. It's 3 euros and a bit cheaper than my previous buy, and it's still a high risk. So, but they are continuing with their restructuring, and okay, they lowered their dividend in 2025, but you know my view on it. So I like it when a firm decides to pay out a lower dividend instead of just doing whatever it takes to keep paying out a higher and higher dividend. I don't think that's healthy for a firm to do. I know a lot of American firms do that, but in my book, when a firm has the strength of deciding to lower their dividend and say, okay, 3 euros 40 is too much, 3 euros 45 is too much, we will lower it to 2.25. I believe that's a great decision in by the management of BASF. And they are still the largest chemical company in the world, and they operate in multiple sectors, so in chemicals, materials, industrial solutions, and agriculture. They are planning to do a minority initial public offering by 2027 for its agriculture solutions division. So what this means is that they are going to bring it to the market, but they are still going to maintain 60% of the shares so that they still control the firm, but that it's legally separated from the rest of BASF. I think that's a great solution. Bayer should consider that as well for their crop science division. And Bayer is, you saw that it moved up in my ranking. So if Bayer is going down a little bit more or shows more promising things in the future, then for sure I'm going to pick up some shares maybe next month. So the 28th of November I deposited 200 Swiss francs. On the 25th, in total now I have deposited 3,500 Swiss francs into my Yuh account, and in my Yuh account now there is 3,867.67 Swiss francs. So you already know that from the beginning of the video. And the balance right now is 72.57 Swiss francs. I particularly like this because, yeah, you know, Siemens is 230 euros. So I need 10% of difference with my buy order. So in this regard, having 72.57 Swiss francs available on my account is always a good thing, to be able to buy Siemens when I wanted to. Then Here is the overview of my investments. I'm sorry for that. They weren't ordered as I wanted them to be, but I fixed it quickly. So here you can see the BASF shares that I had before my buy. I had then at the evening of the 24th, I already gave in my limit order. And you might think, hey, how come you know that it was going to drop to 44.11 euros? I just took 1.5% off the price that it had, and I thought, okay, this day it was a great day. Tomorrow they will drop perhaps a 0.5% or 1%, and it was 1%, but I only took a 0.5% difference compared to the previous day. And you see, it worked out. I had a loss of 12.26 euros, and now I am left with a loss of 5.86 euros after buying 4 extra shares and the price going up a little bit during the rest of the week. So you can see all the rest of my shares. Only Swatch Group is a little bit in the red with 3.6 Swiss francs, but it was way bigger a few days ago. But we had great news with USA and the tariffs with Switzerland dropping from 39 to 15%. So that was great news, and the price of Swatch reacted on that. And Nick Hayek as well. He gave a few interviews, and yeah, I believe they are doing the right thing. UBS is still doing the same thing, downgrading the stock like crazy. They are now with a price target of 90 Swiss francs for the Swatch Group. It came from 72 Swiss francs, so it moved up 18 Swiss francs, but still 90 Swiss francs for a share that is worth well into 210 Swiss francs in the books. That's just crazy for me. So 162 means it's still undervalued compared to its book price value. And yeah, happy to buy more of this stock actually now as well, just like maybe buyer. And then we can go to our Swiss coins. So Swiss coins, the crypto that you get every time when you do a trade on the Yuh-portfolio, on the Yuh app. So I had 5 Swiss coins gained this time with only one buy of BASF. So I went up to 370 Swiss coins right now. The price went from 19 cents and a bit to 1.9 cents and a bit to 2.0 cents and a bit. So a rise of 1.24% in the past month. And in total, I am up 15.11%. And I have now 7.48 Swiss francs in Swiss coin on my Yuh account. So to round up, I deposited 200 Swiss francs and total deposited so far is 3,500 Swiss francs. My total right now is 3,867.67 Swiss francs. I have 72.57 Swiss francs in cash available on my pay account. Then I have invested 3,486.43 Swiss francs. That is with cost, with exchange cost and reinvested dividends. When we go to the Yuh-portfolio overview in Getquin, you will see that this amount is higher than the total cost that is indicated on my Getquin account, but that's just because the exchange costs are not included there. That's something to always keep in the back of your head. The investments are right now worth 3,795.10. As always, it was the end of the day on Friday, so I should have waited to make the print screen of this graph on Saturday. Then it would correspond to this price, but it was still from the day before. So the stocks is 3,787.62 and the crypto is worth 7.48 Swiss francs. So the current profit or loss on the stocks is a profit of 301.19 Swiss francs, or a plus of 8.64%. And you always know that I'm always repeating the same thing. That's because I'm always adding to my portfolio as well. So the money that I added right now only contributed for about 50 cents in gains. Then the money that I contributed here only contributed for 1.5 Swiss francs, and so on and so on and so on. And it's also only working for me for a few days, a month, 2 months, 3 months. So you always get an underestimated from the actual plus of your portfolio, but that's just something you have to live with when you're CCAing into your portfolio. So consistently cost averaging. It's it's annoying because you think you're actually underperforming the market because the market is up now more or less 14 up to 18%. Actually, the Swiss market isn't up that much, but on average, the world market is up around 14 up to 18%. So you think you are underperforming the market, but in fact, because you are always adding money, you are lowering your actual performance of your portfolio in say. So there was an increase of 52.30 Swiss francs compared to last month. And now in total, compared to the deposited amount, I'm up 367.67 Swiss francs. So if you look at it, I'm on it now for 15 months. And in those 15 months, when I add another 33 Swiss francs, I will have a gain of 2 months that I actually gained on the stock market instead of putting in the money myself. And that's a great thing. And also 15.55% of my gains come from my dividends that are being paid out by my companies, and 84.45% of my profit is from the appreciation in price of my stocks. And here you can see the overview of my dividends. So the brut dividends or the gross dividends that I'm going to receive next year are 40.44 Swiss francs and 108.40 euros, with a conversion rate of 0.932 Swiss francs per euro. This means that I will receive 141.47 Swiss francs, or a current yield of 3.73%, or a yield on cost of 4.06%. And you can see, so my numbers of shares of BASF increased from 4 to 8, and that's why also my total dividend received from BASF is going up from 9 to 18 euros. So it's always brut dividend, so gross dividend, so no anticipatory tax or withholding tax is deducted from these numbers. So actually what I'm going to receive is going to be less next year, but it's just, it makes the things easier because I can recoup as well some of those 15% withholding taxes from other countries. I have to put in the work, of course, but yeah, I already complained about that in previous videos as well, so I'm not going to go on about that. And then we can go to Getquin. I hope I'm pushing the right button. Okay, so this was my portfolio on Friday. So there was actually no big moves there, only plus 1.81 Swiss francs. But you know, it goes always on after trading hours. So 17:35 is most of the time the last trades happening on the Swiss stock exchange, and then the next 10 minutes you can trade at the same price, and then the market closes. And then it continues on the US stock market. That one closed actually faster than 11 o'clock in the evening. Normally it's 10 o'clock in the evening, but because it was Black Friday, the markets shut down. I believe it was at 8 o'clock our time. And I don't like this view. I think they should change it to portfolio value, and then then you can click easily max, and then you see that the dotted line is the amount that I invested, and then the green line is the amount that I actually have right now on my portfolio. And you see the difference is the gains that I actually have. But you know, you only get the gains when you sell a stock, and I'm not planning on selling stocks soon, so it's always fictional, the gains. So here you can see my positions moving up and down. I will let them show all to you. So yeah, the last 2 days with Thanksgiving and then Black Friday, there wasn't actually that much movement in the stock market. BASF now worth, it's in Swiss francs, that's annoying a bit here, but yeah, that's just because I'm living in Switzerland, so I'm paying everything in Swiss francs except the cost that we still have in Belgium for our house that we have there. But here you see it, invested capital, it's 3,447.99, and when you add the costs and the taxes, you still don't get the amount that I talked about earlier in my video, and that's just because the exchange fees aren't included here. And then here you can see that they predict that I will have 146.36 Swiss francs, so a little bit higher than my prediction, because they also calculate in some price increases. They actually also predict a decrease in the Swatch dividend, so there you can see a minus. And yeah, I don't believe it's going to be a minus for Swatch next year, but we will see about that. But the total return, it's 398.52 Swiss francs here. So, and that's just because they calculate it on the values that you see and not with the actual costs included in everything. But I always include the costs because costs is something that you pay and shouldn't be something that you see in your total return. So in that way, I'm more correct than Getquin. But you know, I like Getquin a lot. Here you can see how the dividend payments are going to be next year in 2026 in May. I'm almost going to receive about 100 Swiss francs, probably with my buys until April of 2026. This number will increase beyond 100 Swiss francs. I hope it at least, and that would be a nice thing. So yeah, Getquin, a really great program. I'm also trying out another, where is it here? Snowball Analytics for my ETF portfolio, for our ETF portfolio from my wife and I. But something is wrong there. They aren't estimating the worth of my portfolio correctly. There is I need to find out what is going on there. But they were really quick at changing the tickers and following the correct tickers. So now I have the correct tickers in Snowball Analytics, and I hope to present Snowball Analytics soon as well. And then I'm trying to go back to my presentation. So that was the end of my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you push that subscribe button as well, because 74% of you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel. That was the latest graph. So it's going down actually. So there is 26% of you are subscribed right now. So that statistic went up, which means that I'm actually reaching less and less viewers. So if you want to hit that like button, that would help out my channel enormously as well and distribute my videos more. Also comment down below what you bought this month. What do you think is an interesting dividend stock? I can make a short about that as well, because I started making shorts once again. And Hope you like this one and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.